Hello everyone and welcome back to Splatoon 2. Last time we completed a whole bunch of levels in the second area, but we've still got 3 more levels to complete along with a boss. Now, I just might want to let you know that I'm doing post-commentary for this rather than live commentary because for some reason my commentary didn't record and I was confused as to where it may have gone, and I believe it just didn't pick up my microphone or something once again. So there are 3 levels we're going to be completing this episode. First one is Back Alley Cleanup, Suck It Up, level 7. There's a Sheldon request for this as well. I also might want to mention that for Sheldon request levels, they are not levels where you're given a new weapon, but they are levels where you are given a specific weapon to play through, and you have to use that weapon for the level, otherwise you can't really play through it, because you can change weapon to whatever you want, and as soon as you enter the level, you get given some other random weapon. So for this specific weapon, or for this specific level, we are going to be using the really, really basic hero shot. But it's really cool because, like, it's purple again. And I very rarely end up getting purple. I feel like we very rarely get purple. There's a cool feature in this level as well. Another one of the new things is the giant squeegee, which we're going to be using quite a little bit in the level. We've seen the smaller squeegees, which suck up ink, and the big squeegees, they suck up ink as well, except they're enormous and they can do quite a bit of damage to you. But the cool thing about these ones is that we're using them we're basically riding them and using them as big platform things. To pretty much hop on their back, and as soon as you hop on their back, they don't particularly care. As soon as you get on it, which I can't seem to do because I'm incredibly skilled at this game, as you know. Yeah, I'm still getting used to stuff. And that is perfectly fine. As soon as you get onto its back, you'll see that it doesn't actually do anything as soon as you get onto it, apart from kind of walk forward. It will walk forward towards whatever ink you're spraying at it, and being a squeegee, it will eat any ink in front of it. So that's kind of helpful. It means that you can kind of control exactly where they go, but at the same time not really. If you make a pathway that goes straight forward, then obviously it's going to follow it. So at this point, it's apparently a dead end. Where do we go? Where do we go? But you can get the squeegee to come over here, climb up the wall, and wait for it to come down underneath us. It's actually kind of difficult to get on top of them as well. Like, surprisingly it is. You would think that it really wouldn't be. As soon as you jump onto them, they start moving around in circles, and it's like, get on, please. But that's pretty much how you do it. Where he talks about them being, like, really cute, and I totally agree there, actually. Like, look at them. Look at them. They're big, and they're not as annoying as the tiny squeegees, and the tiny squeegees, they're kind of cute as well. I was experimenting with, the little tiny squeegees in this level as well, and I found something that made them super cute as well, which I'll get to soonish. Don't go falling to your doom now. I'm pretty invested in you at this point. That is very true, but I guess all that Mary is really saying there is don't die, because, like, please don't. I put, like, time and money and effort and, of course, our expensive resources, giving you all of our weapons and armor. And I also kind of got stuck at this point. I was trying to do insane dodging. It didn't quite work because you can't ink on the glass, which means you can't use quick moving or anything. You just have to walk around on feet, which is really awkward in this game because you're used to being able to move quickly through ink. Shielded enemies are not fun. But super annoying will always be super annoying. And look at this sprinkler, the bane of my existence in this game sometimes. They're super duper annoying. But yeah, I got to this point and I hopped on it, and look at this! You can ride them the same way that you can ride the big ones. They make little, tiny little squeaky sounds as well. I love them. Only when you can actually ride them and they're on the ground, not when they're on the walls and things, because they're just super annoying when they're on the walls and you want to climb it. So there's another huge squeegee here, and Sheldon, actually, he starts suggesting using a bomb. There you go. May want to consider using a puddle of bomb ink to keep it occupied. So you can just spray the ground a whole bunch, or you can chuck a bomb. I guess chucking a bomb is probably not as good an idea because it uses up a whole lot more of your ink, and you know that I've got the different bomb equipped at the moment. I mean, I can easily switch to the other bomb, but like the current bomb I was using, I guess, is the... I actually don't know what it's called. It's just the bomb that kind of moves back and forth a little bit on the walls and then it explodes. It creates a pathway as it moves. So you can kind of see that it's pretty easy to control where they go. All you have to do is just kind of spray forwards and they will follow forwards, but they do stray from the path a lot. So as you can see, there's a locked door up ahead, and in that locked door there is a giant squeegee. But there's something over there as well. Now, of course, me being me, I'm going to go and have a look at it and go, hey, look, I can't actually open it. And the key is over where I looked before. It's at the very top of the tower over there. I happen to notice a box down there. It contains 3 power eggs. Not particularly interesting, but I still wanted to see what was in it. Oh, curiosity always gets the better of me in games, but hey, it's good to be curious in games because you might find strange secrets, or unlock things early on, or just get extra coins, or power eggs in this case. Regardless, there's nothing bad about being curious in games at all. Like, I can say it's never failed me apart from falling off the edge on purpose to see if there's anything down there. There you go, we got the key, so all you need to really do is go and rescue the squeegee, completely miss the onion ring there, and fail to get that box. Yeah. But if you go and let the squeegee out and then pretty much run for your life, because where the heck else is this, like, where else is this thing gonna go? It's gotta go forwards. I actually thought that you had to get on top of the squeegee, and you really don't. You just have to wait for it to move past, and then you can go back to where the squeegee was, because it was basically just blocking the pathway, and you can see if I turn to the left, that there is basically just a pathway that you can go through that way, and a little fountain I think there that allows you to continue advancing through the level, which is kind of cool. I wanted to see if I can stand on those things. No, you actually can't. They slide you off. They're not bouncy. They're not they are slidey, so you can't stand on them. You can't use the plants. They're really useless things. So I really don't know why they're there. I guess they're just obstacles. I still want to experiment with them a bit though. It's always cool to trying new things in games. And we now have the key that we can use to unlock the cage for the squeegee. We're going to be using the squeegee to, one, completely annihilate all these enemies, or at least attempt to. It's kind of difficult too, because when you're shooting, the ink doesn't quite go on the ground. It sort of goes all over the place, because you hit them, and it doesn't go all over the ground. It doesn't create a pathway, so the squeegee just goes wherever it wants to go. As you can clearly see, it is not going where I want it to go. But what you actually have to do is use the squeegee to get to the platform on the left. And in doing so, I'm getting all my armor shattered and whatnot. I'm trying not to, though. Got some free power eggs while we're there, which is kind of cool. I'm going to try and, like, farm my power eggs up to, I think, 1,000. 1,000 is, I think, for a weapon upgrade. But I can't say I'm 100% sure about it. It might be 1,000, it might be 500, it could be 800, who knows? Whatever it is, I want to collect as many power eggs as possible, because it's super annoying when you want to upgrade all of your equipment and you don't have the power eggs for it, because then you have to go and farm for them. And when you're re-recording certain things, or just recording and playing quite a bit off screen, you do collect a lot of power eggs in this game. And if I'm doing that already, it basically means I'm already grinding for things, so I'd rather not have to do that multiple times. Nice work, Squeegee, you did okay too, Agent 4. Okay, free the Zapfish. Yeah, I know, right? Saying that the squeegee did more work than like we did. Oh well. We basically used the power of collaboration to beat that level. I mean, it was us and the squeegee. Dokali, now we've completed back alley cleanup. We'll be going to not... Actually, we'll probably end up switching weapons. I guess we'll see. Heading to the next level. If we open our menu, it's a lot easier to travel to the levels that way rather than trying to find them manually. Because, I don't know, it's kind of just trying to... It's like frustrating to try and find where the levels are located. It might be right next to you, but trying to remember which one's 8 and which one's 9 or whatever is just difficult. So this one is Spinning Campground, ink me out, ink me in. There is a Sheldon request for this one as well. I can't remember exactly what the weapon is. We will see in about 3 seconds. Once again, it's the hero shot, which is not particularly interesting, but I guess Sheldon apparently still needs data. I don't know exactly what he does with the data, or why he didn't use the data for the first world. Like, if he had showed up on the first world, that would have been a lot more useful. Those ink furlers unfurl when you hit them with ink. Yeah, I was showing off how, like, cute the sounds that they make are. Because, I don't know, just ink furlers that furl, and they make those cute little sounds as well. I just like them. They're really satisfying, and they're really cool. They have the ability to kill enemies as well, as we'll see soon. I tried to see if any of these will actually take me past those enemies, but I guess I figured out that I have to jump down and kill them. So that wasn't that difficult, was it? It was not a problem. Some free power eggs in the process as well, which I will definitely not be complaining about when we need them for upgrades. So, you know, the ink so the ink that the enemies shoot at the ink furlers, yeah, it will pretty much push them back. So if there are other enemies shooting them at the same time, then you're basically just going to be fighting to see who can get the ink furler to go forwards. And there's Marie making reference to don't get cooked, and the fact that the catchphrase in Splatoon 1 was apparently better, and I can't remember what that was. That was so long ago. Shielded enemy. Not caring about it. Shielded enemies are frustrating and not anything to do with them. I'd rather not have anything to do with them. Let's get vertical. Like, it's really strange at this point, and there you go. There's more evidence that you can use the ink furlers to kill enemies. Keep your head in the game. Look how focused I am. I'm super focused at this point, so we have got our head very much in the game. It's like a giant ink slide. It so is, and I was actually thinking about I should steal these and open an amusement park. Yeah, I was thinking about how cool it would be to have an amusement park that was made pretty much just of those. Having ink slides and ink roller coasters and things like that. We've already got the fountains and things. We have the ink grind rails as well. So you could combine all of those into a really awesome level that would probably be way more interesting than regular amusement parks and water parks. Not to mention that you'd be a squid. Or a kid. And no, I'm not going to make any more reference to that video or that ad. Here's the secret for this level. The secret scroll is just sitting here, behind the ink filler there. And there we go, once again with the jump pad thing. You make this look easy. Hell, yeah, we do. We are cruising through this level. I'm pretty sure I just saw the zapfish. And yeah, look all the way over there. You can see the zapfish way off in the distance. It looks way further away, but it's actually kind of close. What we have to do at this point is go all the way around the side, because there is an ink furler sitting on the side of the enemies. So we can basically go all the way up here, ink furler, and boom, knock them all out. It's as easy as that. And that's how you do it, not much farther. And that's cool. There's a cool looking cannon thing over here as well. It's a cannon. Get it on, hold ZL, and press ZR. So the cannons are kind of cool, actually. They're kind of difficult to aim, though, because if you're moving the control stick while you shoot, it shoots a bullet really far off your reticle. So if you're aiming without moving the control stick, you should basically be fine. And there's a huge ink filler there that will take us all the way up, and there's this one sprinkler that we took out there. There we are. To the ink furler that I refuse to walk up. I just want to stand on it, and it will push me all the way up to the top. It's not lazy. It's style in some way or another, technically. And we have now completed level 8, spinning campground. Ink me out, ink me in. Inkopolis holds its famous card game tournament once a year. This year, first-time entrant Gilfonso appeared on the scene and promptly set about decimating the competition. He walked away with the first place trophy. I'm not entirely sure exactly what these things are at this point, because it's kind of mysterious and cryptic, but I guess as we start collecting more of these scrolls, maybe they'll start to make a bit more sense. So we got one final level to complete. Yes, thank you for reminding me we can upgrade our weapons, but we actually can't. We don't have enough to upgrade them with. So the final level is 9 Octoling Strike right in the reef, which is kind of unique level, actually. A unique level for this area, at least. This level is... Actually, I won't say anything about it. We'll get into it right now and see exactly what it's all about. Octolings! Wait, that's a mini zapfish. Apparently 8 mini zapfish combined have the power output of 1 normal zapfish. Seek out those pillars of light and recover the mini zapfish. Now, I did actually realize that at this point we had the ability to use our normal weapon rather than using the weapon that we were using from the previous level. We can switch to the hero dualies, and the hero dualies will be a lot more useful for this level than the regular hero shot. You can see it doesn't actually have a requirement for it, it just has the regular symbol showing complete the level with various weapons. So we can just switch to our hero dualies and go ahead and do that. And don't worry, we can literally just skip this cutscene and get straight into the action. Because this is a very action-packed level, actually. There are 8 of the mini Zapfish, and at each of the little mini Zapfish outpost things, I guess, there are Octolings that will try and kill you, and me being me, I didn't collect the mini Zapfish there. I kind of forgot about it, so I thought that bursting it open would cause me to pick it up, but I suppose that I didn't, so I need to go back to collect them in a sec. Now you can see that there are 2 reticles when you're shooting normally and 1 reticle straight after you dash, so if you want to get some really quick focused fire, look at this. Super quick for about a second or so. Good, it'll have all 8 in no time. Cool, and yeah, they just pop out of nowhere, like, look at that. It looked like they were actually in the ink of our color as well. It's almost as if they can hide in both colored inks, because I feel like they can. I think they can hide in our ink as well as theirs. Except if they're hiding in our ink, it's basically a one-shot kill and they're gone. They're hiding in their own ink, it's practically the same as us, which would be we regenerate our health and ink supply. There's probably going to be one nearby. Maybe you can destroy those splash walls. Yeah, that's a wall just to the right. Which I do end up destroying because it's kind of satisfying just to destroy them, but I have other things to worry about. And look at my ink supply! My ink supply goes down so quickly when using the hero dualies, but they're such cool weapons to use, I just want to use them all the time. Prepare for some really, really pro platforming. Ready, 3, 2, 1. That did not quite work the way I wanted it to, but we can respawn, go back a different way, and not have to worry about going up to sponge. We can just walk straight to it. So look at this. Cheap strats. Not really. They're technically perfectly viable strategies. And yes, rolling backwards is also a good viable strategy because that means that they can't shoot us quite so easily. But you do have to remember that the hero dualies are kind of close range weapons as well, so you probably shouldn't roll back too much unless you really have to. Demonstration of that wonderful weapon. Satisfaction points plus 10. Plus 20. I think those are the only 2 walls, so that's enough satisfaction. See, look, they can hide in like our own ink. It's ridiculous. How on earth do they do that? Like, we're not able to hide in their ink, so they shouldn't be able to hide in ours. Where's the equality at? See, look, that Octoling was like 100% hiding in my ink. First world problems having low ink when you're in the middle of battle and collecting mini Zapfish. We have 6 out of 8 of them. Extra power eggs, because why not? And as we start coming to the end of the level, we'll start to need to look a bit closer to the spawn point of the Octolings. There's one of them here, and the final one is located near their spawn point. I accidentally dashed into a bomb there, but I still managed to not die. I probably should have collected the armor from earlier, but guess I didn't. Ooh, we have the bomb launcher ability now, so for the bomb launcher ability, tap R and the, well, press R as in the bumper R when you want to throw them. Now you have to be careful when you're using it though, because if you're using the ability and you also have the bomb equipped, you sometimes can't really tell when your ability has run out, so you'll start to use your ink really quickly. So just look at the bar on the top right and you'll see how much longer you got left of it. So just before it finishes, then you should probably stop using them just so that you don't completely drain your ink supply. There's actually no real need for me to stick around too much further than that. I tried to chuck a bomb and it didn't really work because I didn't have enough ink for it, so I went, nope, who cares? Smash that open and beat the level. And with all those levels being completed, we can finally head to the boss kettle. Boss kettle's open, get ready. No, I don't want to go to that level. I want to go to the boss kettle. The showdown. Fear the Octo Samurai. There's a Sheldon request for this level as well. And so it's going to be interesting to see exactly what weapon we're going to be using, but what weapon do you think we're going to be using if we're going to be fighting a melee opponent? Octo Samurai, I guess we'll find out in a sec. fighting a melee enemy, I guess we have to have a melee weapon too. We're going to be using the hero roller in this fight. Gathering some more data for this dudelet named Sheldon. Splats with honor. This is the Octo Samurai. Smoke this clown, Agent 4, for the honor of your family or something. Typical Japanese game developers start to insult their own culture by, well, putting lines like that in, which is kind of funny actually. I quite like it. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm pretty much creating pathways on the outside because it's very useful in this fight to have as many pathways as possible. Because if you're not able to be mobile, things like that will happen. You'll get whacked by just the edge of the big roller he's using, and you'll die really, really quickly. So get up close and start hitting him as soon as he's doing his really, really basic attacks, because those are the ones that are actually quite easy to avoid. He does have some other kind of scary looking attacks though, so that's why I'm standing quite far away from him, just in case he does... Yeah, look at that. He's revving up, move. Now, I'm not going to turn my camera towards him because I'm busy running away, but he'll move very, very quickly towards you and pretty much just crush you where you are. There you go, easy to dodge ability, just hop in there, don't stand in front of him. I wasn't standing in front of him, I was standing kind of near him. Once again, he's revving up thing. I tried to stay as far away from him as possible, and I just managed to make it past him. So I was very lucky there. I was just committed to hitting him. So as soon as you do that, a little tentacle will reveal itself. Tentacle, Agent 4, whale on it. Initiating second phase. Oh, Carp, this sucker's not messing around, so once again we're going to create these pathways because it's become even more menacing than he was before. I don't actually know the difference between him in the first phase and in the second phase, but I just know he's a whole lot scarier. I think he's got some other really crazy powerful attack that he can do with that weapon too, so I'm just keeping an eye out for what he's going to do. Ah yes, that's the spin attack. The spin attack, his eyes lit up before he did that. So yeah, he'll kind of get into a bit of a pose where you can kind of tell whether he's going to do a spin attack. His eyes all light up, he'll go ding, and then you have to run away as soon as you see him in the pose, because if you listen for the ding or you look for when his eyes light up, you're pretty much going to be too close and you're going to get hit. Bring the pain, and just whack that tentacle as much as possible. Initiating his final phase. He looks terrifying now. He looks even more aggressive, even more powerful. It looks like the thing's gotten even bigger, and he's now got the ability to use a melee weapon, but do ranged attacks. And how cool would it be if we could do the exact same thing with our roller? If only. If we could upgrade our roller to do things like that, that would be amazing. Unfortunately, he is just as coordinated as he was about 20 seconds ago, except still pretty powerful. What's he doing now? He's kind of in the pose that he's in usually when he's about to do a spin attack. Here comes the vertical swing. Right, so he's going to start swinging once again. I try to stay in a very close kind of area, but I still get a little bit. Not so much, he does enough damage to kill me though. Or even shatter my suit. An octopus samurai on a unicycle. And I thought the other was bad. Yeah, you really got to hand it to Nintendo. They do have very good people when it comes to creating bosses that are unique. No one would have thought of doing this kind of thing in any other game, so Nintendo's pretty creative with their bosses. Anyway, that incredibly creative boss is pretty much going down in about 5 seconds, so Ending it now. We are finished here. So just like last boss, the Sardinium is given to us as soon as we beat it, so we can pretty much collect it and then grab the Zapfish now. Whew, that was kind of insane. Great work, Agent 4. Maybe it's just me, but the Octarian bases feel like they've been given a feminine touch. Maybe they've got a decorator. Nah. Huh? This radio's on the fritz. I swear I just changed the batteries in this thing. Actually, there is likely radio interference in Octo Canyon. All the junk around there is probably giving off electrostatic. See, a lot of consumer products use a frequency called the CPOD band. Microwave ovens are prime culprits. In fact, my you're breaking up, Sheldon. I'm going through a tunnel in an elevator. Oh, classic Marie not wanting to listen to or talk to Sheldon. Well, I guess the Great Zapfish wasn't here. Maybe in the next area? I am confused by why we can't just go straight to the same area that has the Great Zapfish, but I guess technically we don't know where it is, so we're just going to continue advancing through the linear progression until we get there. So, I guess that works. Anyway, I was going to make mention of something here that I mentioned earlier. Where you saw the Sheldon's request thing from earlier, you saw there are a few good grayed out weapons, and if you go into your records, you'll see that you have the ability to beat every single level with different weapons. It's technically part of 100% for the campaign mode to go through this and beat every single level with every single weapon, and your best time will be recorded on the far right. I'll probably end up doing that off screen as soon as I've beat everything, so I guess we'll get to that a bit later on. But that will just be another one of those things that I'm going to worry about and do in my own time, because it's not something I want to focus on in the Let's Play. Anyway, we have now unlocked the next area, and of course, we still have Sardinium to collect, so I guess we're going to be going back and collecting all the Sardinium in various areas. I'm just going into my map thing just to show you that I have not collected all the Sardinium, but I do have a couple of the secret scrolls along with 3 Sardinium, so I'm going to collect the rest of them in levels, 4, 7, and 9, and then we're going to be moving on to the next area once I've pretty much completed everything I want to do. That'll be for next time. So, thank you all so much for watching this episode of Splatoon 2. I hope you enjoy. You know we're heading next time, so I shall see you guys in the next one.